Hola
for
and
the
welcome
love of
to
God.
TrustyHogs episode 103.
104 and Helen has started to learn Spanish, and it's
Hola,
already
¿cómo está?
pissing me off actually.
Why?
You're too good at it and you're so fast, and
Well, because I
that's
said
annoying.
hello, how are you?
And secondly, you're no longer speaking in full English sentences, and it's too much.
This is good for me to learn Spanish. I got, Lara Ricote, friend of the podcast.
Don't say it like that.
Lara
What
Ricote. She's been teaching me. Tengo hambre.
does that mean?
Andrew can translate because I can't speak English anymore.
I am hungry.
Tengo hambre. Por favor.
Hello.
Pan. Por favor. Pan.
Oh my God.
Bread, please, bread.
Yeah, no, even
It's
I
good.
got that.
It's
Even
good,
I got
no?
that. Hello and welcome to episode 104 of Trusty Hogs, the podcast where we tell you about our gorgeous lives. I'm Catherine Bohart. She's Helen Bauer. We're technically comedians and also apparently students. And we also then have a celebrity comedy guest in to tell you, to help us solve your listener problems. which
Listen,
we
we're going to
often
chit chat, then we're
do.
going to chit chat with Sophie, and then we're going to solve one of your bloody problems.
I love how I say stuff and then you re-explain it.
Because it's just better.
It's like podcasting with a comedian.
Through the fog, step forth the trusty hogs. Yeah, you're gonna give them your problems and they will solve them. Or maybe they won't, and that's your problem. They'll have guests and Andrew White on the tech. Oh, it's Helen and Catherine as the trusty hogs. Trust the trusty hogs, or maybe not.
I feel like I have the spirit of a male comic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just like vibe-wise. I was watching, do you know Sarah Schaefer? She's like a really funny...
I imagine you sucked it out of one of them one time.
Yeah, you see those male comics that are walking around just empty with no
Withered.
soul. It's mine now.
I should never have had that blowjob. It wasn't worth it.
I'm such a sucker now.
Lil. So you're watching Sarah Schaefer, comedian and friend of the pod.
Love Sarah Schaefer. I was watching her show. I think she might do it at Edinburgh next year, so I don't want to give it away. But there's one bit where she's using puppets, and it's about comedy, right?
Yeah.
And she is the puppet. Is going to go talk to the industry and go network with them. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, here come the male comics, and there's just all these puppets of men like, you're an agent, I'm an agent.
That's very funny.
So pleasing.
That's very funny. Maybe I have the spirit of a male comic too.
Do you really think though?
Probably not.
I think you're too self-aware.
Oh, that's kind of... We didn't know where that sentence was going to end. I was like,
but I
selfish.
suppose all comics are self-aware. I don't know.
Oh, that's not true. Come on. Don't make me name names. I'll have
Don't
to do it all
name
fair.
names.
And then Andrew will have to bleep it. It's going to take ages.
But
Hey,
can we note down to do those names after this? I'd be curious to know if our lists have changed.
I took Ellen home this weekend. That's my news.
Can't believe you went to Ireland without me.
Took her home.
My homeland. No, I'm so sorry.
Sweet Jesus. Your homeland.
My homeland, the Emmerdale. I'm going to Ireland on
How
Thursday.
do you sound so Norwegian? I know I keep telling people who listen, go to Helen's show. My sister's going, which is so nice. It's so great. She's so excited. So we went home, and as always the case, Ellen's immediately my mother's favourite child.
She's adorable.
Also, my mum loves a lesbian.
Yeah.
And
you're just bi.
And I'm just bi.
It's not
It's
enough
not
for
enough. I
her.
never even wear a button down. So that's not true, but she doesn't care.
Yeah.
And so then...
What's underneath the pinafore? Is that a button down?
It's like a blouse rather than a
Yes,
shirt,
it's a
isn't it? And
blouse.
there is a distinction. But my dad, I realised, when you're watching your culture through somebody else's eyes, like, for example, we were with a group of people and someone said, oh, God bless him. And I realised I needed to explain to Ellen that God bless him in Ireland doesn't mean we wish the best for him.
No, it's
or
poor them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ew!
I sneeze, but it's not just poor them. It's just to be clear, we all really pity that person.
It's the Southern American version of I'm gonna pray for you.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
is it not?
No, it's the Irish equivalent of yikes. It's a yikes. God bless him is a yikes.
You guys are such a bitchy country.
Oh, we're so bitchy. And the other thing to say is that when you're watching your culture through somebody's eyes, you're like, oh yeah, I guess that is a mad story. For example, the notion of funerals came up, and my dad was saying like, oh yeah, we obviously have to be careful not to stand too close to the grave. And we were like, sorry, what? And he was like,
well, 'cause you might fall in.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And we were like, okay, you just said that like that's normal. I was like, why would you fall in? And he was like, oh, it happens. And we were like, what do you mean? He was like, it's happened. I was like,
sitcoms?
what? No, get this. My dad was in training to be a deacon. They were at a funeral training. They had this man being like, you must never, ever, a priest, ever go too close to the grave. And they were like, okay. He had done a funeral in wet weather.
Oh no.
He'd fallen in not once,
No.
not once, but twice. He fell in the same grave twice. And my dad said, like, you could see it in his eyes. It was true. There was nothing, they weren't laughing. It
The
was
full
like,
6 feet?
he fell in. I don't know if the coffin was already in either, so I don't know if there was a
you'd
clash.
want it to be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Just for the extra foot.
I guess, but do you want to land on wood at a dead person, or
It's
do you want to
easier
land?
to climb out, isn't it?
I'd rather land on mud than a corpse, but
Well, the corpse is fresh, isn't it? It's just been like...
yeah, and it's Ireland. It's been buried
it's had all
within
the,
3 days.
acidy thing, isn't it?
We bury within 3 days.
Good,
two
good.
usually.
You must.
But yeah, so yeah. Anyway, but my point is like those are just off the cuff stories, where like, or like this woman was talking about the Catholic Association's marriage course. Basically, there's like you have to do 6 weeks marriage counselling with a priest before you get married in a church in Ireland.
Oh yeah.
Of course you do, because why wouldn't you ask a virgin who's sworn off women?
No, they wank.
Yeah, you can still. All right. I'm not sure that you know. Okay, listen. I'm not getting into the
You're
semantics.
no longer
with you.
pure after your first ejaculation.
But yeah, it was just a fascinating thing to watch it through her eyes, and also to watch us lose the rugby.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who were you playing against?
Okay,
I don't know.
the All Blacks, New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. And the New Zealandese won.
The New Zealandese won. I'm not sure that's how they call
New
themselves.
Zealandese does.
All Blacks.
Kiwis.
All Blacks.
The
So
All Blacks
Kiwis,
won.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yay!
them.
New Zealand.
Wow, at least your accents are all over the place everywhere. At least it's not just Ireland.
When you were telling that story, all I could think of, do you know that Tim Robbins sketch? It's like the Tim Robbins show, I think you should leave. And there's a sketch.
Which one, Helen?
It's got like, he's at a funeral and he's doing like an infomercial for his TV channel being like, coffin drop. And it's called Coffin Drop.
I have seen Coffin Drop. It's so good.
Falling out the bottom of
It's
coffin.
good stuff. It's good
And then they have
stuff.
that bit where it's just naked bodies coming out. Like, oh. And it's just on the floor. And all the mourners are like, oh no, my husband.
How many coffees have you had this morning?
This is my second. Should we bring on our guest?
Everybody, it's the incredible Sophie Hagen. Hello, Hogs. It's Catherine Bohart from TrustyHogs. Helen laughs at me when I say that I'm Catherine from TrustyHogs when you're listening to TrustyHogs and you know that it's not Helen, but nonetheless, there we are. Are you still listening? Hey, if you are, please join my newsletters on my website because at the end of October, I got some big news. And I want to tell you first, and I want you to be on, shall we say, a little private previous little prior list, so that maybe you'll get preferential treatment in access to that news. You will. Go on. Join up. Sign up, please. Newsletter, catherinebohart.com.
What's up? I'm still on tour. I'm coming to Cork, Dublin, York, Leeds, Nottingham. No, Leeds are sold out. Forget it. Leicester, Bristol, which has got like 5 left. Reading, Berlin, Birmingham, Guildford, Aldershot, Norwich, Newcastle, Edinburgh, Glasgow. Fuck, this is so much travel. Cambridge, Manchester and Maidenhead. Oh man, that's going to be... Please come. Please come, because some of those are like when it's really cold and dark out and I'll be sad. Bring gifts. Thank you. Bye.
Hey, Helen, stop.
I know
stop,
there's something
Helen,
in there
stop,
for me.
Helen,
I can
stop.
feel it. Is it a giftie?
It's a gift.
Is it just for me or for Catherine?
It's well, now I feel bad. It's for both of you.
Oh,
Bad.
You feel bad because it's for both of us?
Well, not because she was.
She
all
has
like,
this effect.
it's my birthday next.
When's your birthday?
March 25th.
Well, November 10th. So.
Okay.
Are you November 10th?
Where's mine?
Birthday.
Oh, good
Where's
point.
my gifty? Oh, don't do that. That
Oh,
would be the
she
worst.
does that and it's awful. It's usually like a pencil she's chewed.
Oh.
I knew I'd guess it.
Just found a pen in my bag.
would
Or a
love a chewed- I
tampon.
need
It's
a
always a
chewed-
tampon.
I need a chewed pencil
Or
for
hand
like planting
sanitizer.
DNA
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
murders.
Nice.
Oh,
What's that?
that is that's from the end of my tour show from Jamie D'Souza wrote on the back of it because he had to run and get his train.
Just
Do you want
saw
that?
the
Why would
trains.
Sophie want that?
What does that mean? Just
'Cause it's
saw
got
the
a picture of me
trains
on
and
it.
realised I had to run off to make check-in.
He was staying in Fareham and we were in Winchester.
Oh,
Do you want that?
Sophie,
I actually do.
There we go.
Because
Happy
if,
birthday.
I'm going to say if you become like massively famous.
then you'll have that.
Or if, what was that, Toby?
Bless you. It's when.
Jamie.
If Jamie becomes really famous.
It's when, not if.
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah,
matter of
Jamie's
time with
a
me.
huge star in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
that.
I need to explain to you what I'm giving you
Okay.
so I can put my bag down and stop
Okay.
looking insane.
Please.
So I thought, because I've been listening to all of your episodes, I also have questions for you.
Stop it.
But, no, well, not all of
Nobody
them. Not
ever
all of them.
brings
Not all of them, but
questions.
a lot of them. And I thought, oh, it'd be
Stop.
really cute if I gave you like a teeny tiny like little pig thing, because you get a lot of.
We get a lot of
this
pigs.
one, like a teeny tiny pig.
We get a lot of pigs.
So I went on Etsy and I was like, oh, I'm gonna find a teeny tiny pig, and then I'm gonna see if I can find a teeny tiny pig in
Like
my
a
bag.
micro pig?
Micro pig. And I was like, oh no. Is it?
Good day, Sarah.
Daddy, it's Daddy. It was so big, and then you cancelled the last date, so it had to be in my kitchen.
Oh
It's
my god,
so
I'm
big.
so sorry.
It's so big.
Oh my god, guys, if you're listening to this and not watching
It's
it,
huge.
Sophie has just
It's
pulled the largest pig. Like,
Life-size
I feel like
pig.
you got conned. Remember there was that con for a while where people would be sold a teacup pig and then it would turn into an actual fully grown farm-sized pig.
Okay, I'm taking a picture. I'll put it on the Instagram.
That's what's happened to
People
you.
who buy a rug and it's a mouse mat.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
the inverse. Oh my god, please hold it up beside your head, Helen.
I've even got a name for her.
You can't name her alone
She's
already.
seen-
Bacon Hagen.
I like it. I do, to be fair,
That's the
honestly,
best pun in my life I've ever enjoyed.
Bacon Hagen.
I love
I
bacon.
Isn't
like
that
it.
good?
I'm a big fan.
it's good stuff.
I
Oh my
love
god,
you.
you've shown up with a
It's
gift.
so big.
You've shown up with a cake.
Yeah.
You can come anytime.
Thank you.
That's good guesting.
Well, and
And questions?
I'm gonna wait, but I have questions as well.
Okay.
And all just statements.
Okay, fantastic.
Catherine touched Bacon Hagen's butt.
It's really hard not to. It's very juicy. I
so
want to
big.
give it a little pinch.
I washed it because it had been standing right next to my stove, so it had a lot of like food sprays on it. But I've washed it.
Wow, thank you so much. I love that you
Please tell me
greased
it
up our
had
pig.
Bacon spray on it.
I don't like bacon. I know, as a Danish person and someone whose surname rhymes with Hagen, it's
That's
real bad.
mad that you
I
don't
know.
like bacon.
I put it in bolognese sometimes, but I'm not really.
Okay, I've never done that. That
Is this
sounds
going to be our
incredible.
first fight on the podcast? I can't have the two of you start
No,
off
no,
with
I'm
a
not
fight.
having a fight. We're not having a fight.
Hey,
Everyone's having a
Everyone's got
fight.
soft hands in the air.
Let's bacon in bolognese.
Yeah.
Like just like chopped up, like little bits.
Yeah.
That's
You
ingenious.
start with that, and then the onions, and then the veggies,
nice. Use
and then
the oil
meat.
from it. Yeah,
Yes.
that's very nice.
Yeah, but it has to be the bacon that's most similar to, not the bacon you put on your in your breakfast, English
Not
breakfast.
cured bacon.
Sorry.
Oh, not like
your
rashers. Not
their
like yeah.
breakfast. Not the bacon.
Oh, it's the
weird
same. It's the
meaty.
same.
More
it's the
like-
same.
Not the meaty one, but like
Yeah.
we want the
The
I don't know what they're
fatty one.
called. The stripy.
pancetta.
No, that's a whole different
Okay.
thing. I
no,
think.
it's isn't the same. It's just chopped up in it. No.
What?
Hello. No, because it's like pancetta's just bacon chopped up.
Yeah, but it's like little thick things and
Lardons.
Yes, but no. We need the long strips.
Yeah.
I think this
Thin
is a Danish
ones.
thing.
I think that it
No, I
might
know
be.
what you mean, but I don't eat meat, so but it's been a while. But
Oh,
I
me
do know what
neither.
you mean.
Me neither.
Since when?
I know. I just thought I'd join in.
Not today.
I was
haven't
like,
eaten it
huh?
today.
What? Sophie Hagen, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So much for being here. Let's
you.
talk about it. You've had a haircut. We gotta talk about it. It's been waiting to happen. It's very
has.
exciting.
Thank you.
How long did you think about cutting your hair? How do you feel since you've done it?
I thought about it for I think 13 hours.
Wait, what?
But it's been
It was
a long
that
time
spontaneous.
coming.
Okay, yeah, I was like,
I
hang on.
don't make decisions like in the future. I can't do that. Anything like vacations, tattoos, haircuts. I don't like it has to happen now. Otherwise, I'm like because I've made the decision. So in my head, I have short hair now.
So why do
I
I have
need
this
to-
weird long hair?
Yes, and yeah. Ugh.
But when you said it's been a long time coming, I would agree. Say more on that. I don't want to speak on your behalf. But I would say, come on now.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just one of I've always thought like, no, I don't know.
What was holding you back?
Honestly, I
Yeah.
think a fear of letting go of femininity.
Yeah.
Like I wore
Really?
dresses for like a decade before I was like, I think I hate wearing dresses. It feels really bad.
Yeah.
And then I switched to like trousers, which felt like a big. I middled with jumpsuits. And
The jumpsuit conversion track.
the
Yes,
conversion,
yes,
and
yes,
now
yes.
I'm on trousers and jeans. Jeans took a while after trousers as well. So like it's a
Jeans
whole
are so
thing.
warm as well, aren't they?
That's just very nice. But
There's
it's
a
also really hard
warmth.
finding.
They're so hard
any
to find.
clothes
Yeah.
to be when you're fat. Like,
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
hard.
Yep.
So yeah, then we were in the jeans. Then we were in the shirts. Then we were in the. We're just in the area, and then
Yeah. You were really in the area. And the area
And what
arrived
comes
real fast.
next?
A
The
haircut.
walking cane?
the second I cut my
No,
hair,
a girlfriend.
The
a wife. I need a wife. The second I cut my hair, I was like, I don't want to wear makeup, and I don't want to wear jewelry.
Great.
It was so wild. I was just
That's
like,
so
oh.
interesting.
This was like three kind of big things. I was like, I always wore earrings. I always wore makeup. I had long hair, and then suddenly overnight, I was like, ugh. Oh no, it feels wrong. It feels so weird.
This is interesting. So do you think it's a case of like, this matches the aesthetic I've created with my hair? Or do you think it's that the hair and the clothes have taken you closer to a sense of authenticity, and then you're like, any performance feels bizarre now?
Yeah, it's sort of like with the short hair, I've gone from trying to look pretty to trying to look handsome.
Yes!
And that feels like a different thing.
Handsome voice, yeah.
Either way, I'd say it's fuckable. I'm on either fucking
The
way.
umbrella is fuckable.
Yeah.
And it's just about choosing which type.
Yeah.
So I think it just came as like
I
a...
can see you with a parrot now as well. I don't know
Well, actually,
why.
the pig looks really good with this outfit.
Do
I
you
bet it fucking
keep
does.
trying to make them a pirate instead of a handsome guy?
No. Well, pirates, number one, are crazy
The most
handsome.
fuckable group
Did
of
you
people.
know, I just found this out, that in Disney World, when like, do you remember the height of Pirates of the Caribbean when it first came out? And they had Captain Jack walking around Disney World as like a character.
Yeah.
And then they had to take him off the roster because like adult women were losing their minds too much and getting inappropriate. So they had to circle
That's
him
why
out.
Sophie's not allowed to go to Disney as well. It's the same thing.
They were
Women
just
keep
sending
pumping to
them
jet
to
the benches.
losers.
Listen, I didn't want to bring it up, but yeah, I'm banned from Disney World. Yeah.
I get it.
Enticing
Here's
people.
my
get
son,
it.
he wants a picture. I'm me. And they were like, we can't. It's just workplace. It just won't work.
That's
Couldn't they just
wild.
find like an uglier Jack Sparrow?
No.
No such thing.
You can't. Every pirate is fair. Every pirate.
But I
Like,
see what you're saying. You
have
have
you-
moved
do
into the
you
handsome
know-
bracket.
Do you know the musical Pirate Queen?
No.
So
Why
it
do
was.
I not know
It
that,
is.
Andrew?
It is one of the biggest flops in musical history.
No way.
And I love it. So it's like been removed from the internet. So I have the files. I'll send them to you.
Please do.
Which is about a female Irish pirate based on a real life.
Yes, it is.
Irish pirate.
Yes, it is. Grace O'Malley or Girl
Yes,
Near
that
the
one, I
Veil.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Family
It's
member?
the only one.
and she's like in love with this. I think he's a pirate. I think they're all pirates, right? And then she's in love with this other pirate, and he's like a bit of a simp, but like so hot. Played by Hadley Fraser, who's like my favorite.
They're all
musical.
simps for her.
So he's so good, and she's Stephanie J. Block. She's so good. She's so good.
Okay,
yeah,
Andrew's
Andrew's
losing his
nodding.
little mind.
Oh, she's fantastic.
She's
She was in
incredible.
the Broadway falsettos, which was really, really
Stop.
She's so. And it's her and Hadley Fraser. is
I'm
the
no
best
longer
male
part of the
singer.
conversation.
Anyways,
Shut up!
she's a very
It's
hot
about
pirate.
Ireland.
yeah, you should love this.
I should be happy.
Did you see the news? Like, it literally came out last week. They're doing 13 Going on 30, the musical.
Oh, no, I don't-
Don't stop it. Don't be a dick.
No,
Don't be a
I
dick.
can't,
Okay.
I can't. I'm not in the Evan Hansen, like, Heather, like, I'm not in that category of musicals. It needs to be big and shouty and, like, wild and, like...
And what part of
Big
13 Going
voices.
on 30 do you think won't be part
Well,
of
it,
that world?
you know, it might be theatrical.
They've
I
only
couldn't
got
even say
4
it.
nights and they've all sold out anyway, so it doesn't even
Oh,
matter.
no. What a shame. Oh,
What's
well.
the best
Oh, dear.
Darn, you won't be able to go. But just
Yeah,
to-
what a shame.
I was just going to say, Stephanie J. Block is doing a concert in London next Sunday, and tickets are only £15. Just to flag
But I've done this before, because I went to see Michael...
Bublé?
No,
Bolton?
the other...
Bolton?
No. Alfie Boe.
it. Alphabet, all right.
How am I
person. Yeah, you're right.
You mixed
that
up
was
with
very
Michael
hard.
Ball.
I made it very
A couple
hard.
of weeks ago, Alfie Boe.
No, it was years and years
Oh,
and years
right,
ago.
okay.
And because I thought he was going to do all this musical stuff, but then he only did like pop songs. There were only old people in the audience.
No, okay.
And I was just like, oh dear. And they were all like standing up like,
Sweet
and I was just like, oh no, I've made a mistake. I made a mistake. And at the end, I just went with it. And it was just me and all the old ladies. We were like,
That's amazing.
It's
That's
like, have you gone to see Jersey Boys in the West End?
I have not, no.
It is just divorce parties. Just all it's like, who needs a man? And they're all there like, oh, what a night. It's so dumb. He lied to me. You basically have to just throw yourself into it.
I love
with
that.
like, it's just so brilliant. And they
We're not
they
too good
hit
for it.
the bar hard.
Yeah, we're not too good for that. We're not too good for that.
No,
I
that
highly
sounds
recommend it.
amazing.
It's
That
a
sounds
night out.
amazing. Okay, so you've got your hair, you're into
Yeah.
suave, handsome category.
Yeah.
You've got a dog to go with the vibe.
The vibe,
Let's
yes.
be
I got
honest.
the dog first. Let me just.
Yeah, it makes
It
sense.
wasn't an accessory.
No, sure.
Well, it was, but it came before.
How is
that.
Hank?
He's doing well.
He's so cute.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. I personally think your Instagram could have more dog content.
I agree. But
Okay,
do
good.
you know about people on the internet? Have you heard of them?
I've noticed
Yeah,
them.
they have opinions and stuff.
They
And-
really do.
Oh, about
Hank?
people. When you have a dog, people are so invested. And there are like threats on like Reddit where people are like, you can tell that she's mistreating him. Or, like, oh, she never posts about feeding him, so I bet she doesn't feed him. It's like
What?
insane. Like, oh, she never posts about taking him on walks. I was like, yeah, because I don't want you to know where I live, you asshole. Like, it is. So
my
because
God.
I filmed the whole like
What the fuck?
the whole journey to getting him.
Yeah.
I put that on Instagram. And we're
remember.
like every single.
We were
like,
all part of it.
decision- Everyone was a part of it. It was very fun. And then people's opinions started, and I was like, "Oh, this was a mistake. Like, delete that. Don't talk about." So I'm trying to be like less. I'll post like cute photos of him, but I'm like, And when I
That
do
is
any like fit
fucked.
check, when I'm like posting like outfits, he'll come and jump up on me.
Yeah, it's very
That's
cute.
cute.
Yeah.
That's
But,
cute.
It's so ridiculous to
Oh,
like.
people have so many opinions. I can't
put on
imagine if it was a
someone's, like,
child, like
looking
people being
after
like,
a dog. Like,
yeah, but
you're
it's
taking
only
care
wrong.
of a dog.
Yeah, I can only do it wrong according to the internet. It's
I
mad.
maybe this is too heavy a chat, but I feel like there's a real balance to be struck. Like every time I put something on the internet, I am thrilled when people are like enjoying what I'm doing and want to come to shows and feel like they're getting to know me. But the more exposed you are, the more feedback there is, and the feedback is a real, like, obviously anytime I put a clip on the internet, it is awash with homophobia and a lot of like sexism, but mainly homophobia. It's generally like
Only a bit from me.
what
though.
you need is a dick.
Yeah.
That's the general gist.
Yeah, and
okay,
we are sorry about
yeah,
that.
I know you
Oh,
are, but it
no,
doesn't
I
make it
don't-
okay, you
okay.
guys. Could you not just tell me in person?
It's for traction.
My
It's
mom
for
reads
traction.
those.
It's for traction.
Any engagement is good
it's all good
engagement.
Any engagement is good engagement, but it's also like just sort of it's sort of relentless feedback to the point that like I act a little bit irrationally. I find to like reasonable feedback because I'm like I can't take any more feedback.
Oh my god!
Does anybody else get that? Like
shame.
hypersensitivity.
There's no
brought
such
back a
thing
sh-
as
brought back
reasonable
sh-
feedback.
A feeling of shame. Someone messaged me. I was posting about doing like a work in progress, and someone messaged me and was like, "Oh, it must be really good to be able to like just go somewhere and like just try out like stuff you haven't even rehearsed yet." And I was like, you know what? I'm replying. And I was like, you asshole. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good, but I've worked hard to get to a place where I can
Yeah.
like do a work in progress. And
So
then
everyone does work in
and I
progress.
like
It's
blocked, and I was like, "Fuck you!" And then I was like, "Oh, what it could have said was, oh, it must be so nice to have a place where you can go and do work in progress." Like,
yeah.
I
I was like,
read it-
and if we read that in a different tone, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I read that in such a, and I was like reading it again, and they were like, "Well, I don't want to do comedy, and I live in an area where you can." And I was like, "Oh, I'd missed that."
Yeah.
And I read like the attack, which was not an attack; it was a very lovely statement.
But it felt like
But it's
an
like
attack.
tipping points. Everything's
Yeah.
so. I feel really like I have to have a breath and maybe even a couple of days before I reply to messages because I am just like, fuck it. Whereas they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I've just taken some time out of my day to say a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like,
It's
just so
because they don't
relentless.
understand that you get 500 messages all saying like, "I hate the color of your bathroom." And you're just like, I tried to renovate my bathroom via Instagram, which was really fun.
Yeah.
yeah, but people are awful.
It was so wild. I'll be like, "Oh, I need like some storage in this like teeny tiny little corner," and people would send me like a bookcase, and I'd be like, "Where would it go?" And they'd be like, "You're being rude to people who." I was like, I can't.
Wait, they'd send you a bookcase in the post?
No,
No, that'd be
Like a
awesome.
link to be like, "You can
Oh.
use this bookcase." I'm like, it's like 5 centimeters in the corner of a bed. Where
But
you want
what
to
we
put the
forget is how
bookcase.
thick people are.
Oh my god!
Because
Okay.
we're bright. Okay, we're all
Yeah.
bright people.
Speaking
but
of-
the general
I
public,
identify as thick,
as
actually.
shit.
I
There-
identify as thick. Rather
There is
than...
a thread somewhere on the internet where
thick people
they
talking.
hate me, and one of their things was she keeps saying that she lives in a teeny tiny flat, but she has like 5 bathrooms. And I was like,
What?
It's because every time I'm like in a hotel, I'll take like a picture in the mirror. So they think that it's like all of my bathrooms.
Conspiracy.
you're so dumb.
Sophie Hagen is actually a millionaire.
one kitchen, 1 bedroom, 5 bathrooms.
That's so.
But aren't you
I
just
get it. As a
intrigued
layout,
by
I like
thick
it.
people? Like,
Yeah.
I love them.
That's an extent where you're like-
I'm not the brightest, but there's some levels of thick where you're like, oh dear.
it's
like,
wonderful.
I should look away, but I can't.
I
Like,
will
have you ever
say-
seen someone push a pool door and then give
I
up?
love it so much. I feel so honored that they're doing it. Like, it's like when other people are. I'm just so happy it's not me. I'm like, oh mate,
Yeah.
I know how that
Yeah.
feels. And
What
I'm
I-
so happy you're feeling it.
What
and
I
it's
will
not
say-
because I'll be nice about it.
What I will say is, I feel like there's a point at which like you get to also where there's slight. I used to have to answer every like, oh, for the love of God. Whereas now, because of the podcast and may I say the sort of wonderfully protective lesbians that are built around us, now occasionally before I even have to reply, usually if anyone writes something to the tune of, I thought she was dating that other comedian, there are like 8 lesbians being like, well, you should maybe think about that in private. Maybe you should think that on your own. Maybe you should check these things. And it's like, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Would you say the lesbian go-to emotion is angry?
Would you say that question's homophobic?
No, it's more curiosity. Because that was a good impression, but I totally know what you mean. Because I get them going for like people who are like, I mean, granted, I do set myself up for the fat stuff sometimes. Like, don't release a special with a company called 800-Pound Gorilla. Fuck me. Oh, Sophie, do you ever just like walk into it and go, that's on me, actually? That's 100%. Oh, I'm going to own that
No,
one.
they fucking didn't.
Yeah,
No, they
obviously.
didn't. I hate
Talk
people.
about 800-Pound Gorillas, and it's
Oh,
like,
I
no,
love
I
that.
earned that one. Like, that one
No,
was on me.
fuck
The logo
those.
on every single video. And they're like, don't be so hard on yourself.
Oh, you're beautiful.
It's max 400 pound. Like, it's not.
Like a little chimpanzee.
Being so mean to
400-pound
yourself. That's
chimpanzee, if
horrible.
anything, babe. Get it, girl, boss.
It's just sometimes it's like, you know, when my Apollo, when I have the camel toe.
Oh,
And
your moose
yeah, the whole way
knuckle,
through
little
it.
moose knuckle.
But then a guy was like trolling all the trolls, being like, "You shouldn't have a camel toe, and the size of that's a moose knuckle." And you know when you're like,
A what?
A moose knuckle, which is so funny. It's fucked, but it's so funny.
Oh, don't you wish you could have done that?
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
Well,
I
guess
liked
if
it
you
for my
did
personal profile. I thought it was so
Yeah.
great, which then invited all of them in to find me there.
Don't you want to do it again and then
Yeah, you
use the
kidding?
joke on stage? You want to, yeah.
Obviously,
And then do
moose
the joke.
knuckle.
Yeah. It's worth it.
800-pound
It's
gorilla.
worth the one joke.
£800.
That's so funny.
Damn, mine
Sorry.
is
So funny.
my Apollo clip is like the lesbian society who gets the dildo bit. And it's just man after man after man underneath being like, if you use a dildo, then what you really want is a dick. And it's just like, whoa, God. And, like, is there a more capital letter than capital letter? Like, they're just like, it's a lot. It's,
Well,
they're so angry.
proud of their magic sticks.
My Apollo clip. Oh no, wait.
Oh, I'm
We're the
sorry.
worst. We're the
We're
actual
we are the
worst.
literal worst. The thing about my Apollo clip that gets me down is, sorry.
My live at the Comedy
What?
Central
They're
Comedy Store
crazy.
clip was.
They should.
I
Nice,
auditioned for
nice.
that back when.
Oh yeah.
That was my first ever TV audition. It was like a run-through night at Headliners for the. Was it live at the Comedy Store? That's what it called.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I did
I did my bit about
do well.
hating men. Oh, they love that.
Oh, I'm sure they
I
did.
love
I'm
that.
sure they did.
If men said this about women, then what?
Yes.
Tell me what happens.
Then what?
I want to
Exact-
see. They go on the Apollo. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're so right. Then what?
I
Exactly.
love
have
it
to
when they
tell
do
you a
that.
version of what just happened to my sister. I need to tell you. You're
This
gonna
is
love
amazing.
this.
This is-
Go on.
So if anyone doesn't know, I've got a little sister.
Does
She's
she
2
do
years
have the
younger than
Apollo
me.
again?
Yeah,
Also,
she was
like,
Apollo.
it's-
Wait till you hear about
And
her whole
Slade.
family's Apollo clip is crazy.
I'm a Nepo baby. Did you not hear? I'm Nepo, like fully. So my sister, she's autistic. She's 2 years younger than me, but she just started a new job in Cornwall. Okay, so first day, like, and the whole family's involved in her, like, moving down to Cornwall, making sure she's all settled. My dad takes days off work to, like,
Long
take her
debate
there.
about whether or not they should dig up Pancake.
Oh, her dead hamster.
Her dead-
Should we leave it? Should we not? Like, I'm not
when did it
digging
die?
up. January.
Oh, it's like, isn't that gone?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, Sophie, it's obviously gone. But,
Gone.
but she didn't want to leave him behind,
But
so...
just like the movement.
So we're talking about like reacting to people and sort of like taking a beat. She cannot do that. So it was God, it's so not funny. First day at her new job, she's working in the kitchen, back of house, not seeing anyone, which is good because
She's a pastry chef.
She hates people. People are the worst. And the chef and Helen, I was making the chocolates just like I've been told to and doing very good. And this old English white male chef comes over and said, "Smile. Oh, I told him he could go and fuck himself. Good luck getting a Michelin star without me, you piece of shit." She walked out. Good luck getting a Michelin star. She doesn't have a GCSE. It's mad. And she walks out and then she rings me and I'm filming. I'm like, "Look, I can't deal with this right now." So I got my friend Gwyneth on the phone and I was like, "Can you just talk to her about like the rule of three, like giving people 3 chances?" She's like, "So what am I going to do? Just wait for him to fuck up 2 more times?" No, I don't think so.
I'm fully on her side. Fuck that guy. Fuck
Everyone's
that guy.
on her side, but
Yeah.
you've got to understand this was like months in the planning for literally 2 hours
jobs
to be
in
like,
Cornwall.
"Good luck getting a Michelin
Oh, maybe
star
not.
without me, you piece of shit."
Get another job with
said,
someone who's not
"Suck
approved.
it.
You can suck it. Just suck it.
But then where's his rule of 3? Why
Well, he's
can't he
learnt now.
give her 2 more chances?
Oh, he did. They were like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry, we're so sorry." And she
Oh,
was like,
good.
"I don't trust you. It's over.
Yeah, good.
It's over. I'll never trust another man again."
Get this. She got another job in Cornwall
With a higher
with a
fee.
higher wage.
See,
She crushed
not
it.
trusting men pays off.
I want to be your little sister when I grow up. I imagine being like, "What the fuck she say to me? What
I
the?
love that.
You good luck getting a Michelin
Good
star
luck getting a
without
BAFTA
me."
without me. Good luck. I'm going to
It's
take my
very
BAFTA
pretty
elsewhere.
woman going shopping, isn't it?
Do you work on commission? Yeah,
it's-
I know.
love it.
In a rundown hotel in Cornwall. Good luck getting a Michelin star without me.
Listen,
They're not getting it.
all we have is like our integrity and our pride, and we need to protect that. It's more important than anything else.
I think it's phenomenal what she did. I
Yeah,
wish
I'm
I had
fully
that
on
level of
board.
backbone.
Integrity and pride are the most important things.
It is. If you don't have integrity, what's the point?
Yeah,
what's
I-
the point?
I think it's so awesome what she did.
Yeah.
I think it's so fucking cool. I wish I had that confidence
want
ever in my
integrity.
life. Oh, it might be a bit late. We've made so many episodes of the podcast now. Speaking of, you brought some questions,
I have
Sophie Hagen.
questions. Okay, let me just find my notes.
Wait,
Sophie,
Sophie, you wrote them down?
insane.
I've taken
I love
notes
you.
when I've been listening to the podcast.
Is
Oh
it
my
about
God, I love you so much for
Some of
taking
it is
notes.
just like thoughts and notes.
They're so helpful, by the way.
34. 5.
35, as you
Five.
fucking know.
Okay, first of all, this is a piece of advice. I thought it was TrustyHogs. I would be like, well, I'm dumb. But what I will say is, I've been saying that since it started. No one's ever corrected me, so I might not be the only one. So
That's so funny.
I've
And
mentioned it
also-
to a lot, and people are like, yeah, TrustyHogs. Like, I think it's not just me.
Also, maybe it should be TrustyHogs.
let's
That
do a
made
poll
more
on the
sense to me than
Instagram.
Trusty.
We'll
It
do a
makes more
poll.
sense
Yeah,
to
do
me
a little
too.
poll. And
Thrushy
please-
hogs, I could see.
And
Yeah, I
people are
can see
allowed to,
that
like-
too.
I think TrustyHogs makes sense.
That's so funny. Thrusty or Thrushy actually makes more sense than Trusty. We're pretty flaky, actually.
And then I
All
have
of these
then I have
suggestions
a
and
mini
not
then I have a mini list of things I didn't know we had in common. Me and Helen.
Stop.
We were both very sick in Norway.
what happened?
I had a gig in Norway that was would pay like £1,500, and I was like, holy shit, wow. And then I got Nando's at the airport.
Classic, nice.
Arrived in Norway, so sick. Like, I don't remember calling my agent, but he told me that apparently I called him like crying, like, I
my
can't do the
God.
gig. Like, so sick. Ruined a hotel room. Wasn't happy about it.
No.
Front
Next
or
morning-
back?
Both.
Sick.
Oh, both.
Yeah.
The whole.
So
You
head in
poor
the sink,
thing.
bum on the toilet.
When I could get there, yes. Otherwise, it was horrific.
You poor
And then I couldn't
thing.
do the gig. And then the next morning, I felt fine. And then apparently, I was like, where did the sandwich paper come from? It's like someone from the festival or whatever it was had like brought me food. And I don't know if I was like, I don't remember it because I was so sick. So I don't know how I was like, looked when I opened it. Horrible. And
But
then
you
I
didn't
flew
go to
home.
the gastro ward in the hospital.
I didn't.
They're so
So
nice.
we're
Next
not-
time go.
Yes.
Wait, so then you just flew home again?
And I just flew home. I flew to Norway to be sick.
shit yourself and then go home
to not
again.
make any money. Horrific. We have that
Can
in
I ask
common.
a question?
That's
yeah.
hell.
Do you
Yeah.
find the shit quite cleansing, like at the end of it?
I don't remember that feeling.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
I think I just felt like
It's just
being
nice
dead.
to ask.
Our dads both work in sewers.
Stop.
Yeah,
No
my dad
way.
was a I don't know what the right word is. Oh, exterminator, I think. I used to call it like a rat
A
killer.
pest control guy?
I think so.
Or just purely for poo rats.
No, it's mostly about rats, but he was mainly in the sewers.
Sick.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what an origin story.
We also haven't gone to uni,
Oh my god.
which I feel like everyone has.
I know.
Everyone's
gone
like,
to
oh,
uni.
you know, at uni.
And
I'm
you
like,
know that because they go, what uni did you go to? Instead of, did you go to uni? Yeah.
Oh, at least they ask you that. With me, they're like,
Oh!
That's so interesting. I find it much more surprising that you didn't go. Go on.
yeah. I mean, I technically signed up for uni a bunch of times, but
Yeah.
I just never.
It's hard
showed
if your
up.
dad's working poo to then make that transition.
I get it.
Like it's a jump.
Yeah, there's no support from home, right? There's different expectations. I had a horrible spider story I wanted to tell
no,
you because you.
absolutely not.
Yeah,
Please
I know.
no. Please no. I actually.
But
oh
I just
my God,
really
you just
want
said
to.
it and I feel like
I know, but I have it too, and I feel like it's really unfair that I have to sit alone with what happened to me.
I can't. It's gonna keep me up at night. Do you
I
understand?
know, but it kept me up at night.
Oh
And
my
I think
God,
it's
my
only
back
fair.
hurts. Oh, my back hurts immediately.
Okay, I won't tell you. Or if I do, I'll do
You
it like
tell
as a
Helen,
surprise.
You'll tell Helen. You'll tell Helen.
Ah, it makes my
It was
jaw
so big.
weird.
No, just do
It
the
was
humming
so
thing.
big, and I'm really scared. Like I'm really scared of that. And it was so big. It was on the door.
No.
And then it took like I had like a piece of wood, and I like was gonna kill it, and it exploded all over my face. It was so big I could hear it, and it was. I wore my glasses, and they were like there was like spider intestines on my
What?
glasses. It was so.
You're
I was
so lucky. You're
traumatized.
so lucky it didn't have a bunch of
was
eggy
traumatized.
fucking spider babies in there.
It was
Aw,
the worst thing
baby.
that's ever happened to me in my life.
That is
And
hell.
now I have to share it with
That is
everyone. 'Cause It was
hell.
the worst. I could hear
oh my
it.
God, my back hurts.
I know.
I hate
know.
them.
I needed to share that
Exploding
with you.
Spiders.
No, stop it! Please don't say it.
Oh, and then I have a question.
Yes.
Oh, I
God, I think I'm getting
when I
more
was a
scared of
child,
that.
I was really into Titanic, and your mom was on the Titanic. So
I
like,
was also really into Titanic.
before
I played
the film, right?
Carpathia. Yeah.
Before the yeah. See, that's a special thing.
Insane.
Love history about like
War?
war history.
Do you listen to
Love
Real
it.
Dictators?
Because of you, I now do.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then we need to talk about Eagle's Nest because I really want to go there.
In Berchtesgaden?
Yes.
Ja,
I
stimmt.
really want.
Ja. Warum nicht? Ja.
Ich liebe Deutsch, aber ich kann nicht das Gesprache.
Aber das klingt
Ja.
schön aus.
Yeah, I know.
It's fun how all your
Also-
notes are leaving me out. I like these questions.
Good one,
very-
and you didn't like it.
It was fucking, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. And how did you feel about the spider stuff?
That's so grim. That's like we have so much in common. Also, would you like to feel uncomfortable? We have so much in common. What the hell, Sophie Hagen?
I have OCD, so we have that in common.
Yay!
Oh,
That's fun and light.
And I like quiet and stuff. I
Yeah.
don't think we have that in common. So like this, I think like, we can all be friends.
You guys have loads of joyful things in common, and we have a phobia, a mental illness,
Yeah,
and
let's be
we like
honest.
to be alone.
But we find that fun.
We do, to
We
be
do.
fair.
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
bit of a
yeah.
laugh.
The last question I have is you talked about a theory where you divided comedians into like I think war boys,
Yeah.
chaos sluts,
Correct.
blah blah.
Yeah.
What am I?
I already know.
Yeah.
You
If it's
know.
War Boys, Chaos List, and the third category
think it
is
was
pencil case, isn't it?
What? I think it was like
Pencil case. No, you got head girl, head boy.
Thicko, Edgelord,
Big Thicko,
Happiness Whore, Little
Edgelord.
Prince. They're the ones I wrote down.
Say them again. What were they again?
Edgelords, Thickos, Little Prince,
You
Happiness
definitely
Sluts,
okay.
Chaos.
Okay, Little Prince vibes, 100%.
Yeah, I would have said
Because
so.
you do say some stuff on stage where, like, it's like, oh my, what the fuck?
Is that a
But
Little
the
Prince
audience
thing?
are like, aw.
Wasn't Stuart Goldsmith a Little Prince? I don't feel like I'm in the same camp as
Stuart Goldsmith's a head boy.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like
Yeah,
I might
he
say
is.
Little Prince by
Okay, I'm
accident.
fine not being that.
So Little Prince is like
offense to
Sunil
Stuart
Patel, Ed Knight, like these
Okay,
sort of like,
yeah.
oh, you're gonna be a bit cheeky, and the audience go, aw.
Okay, I like
Yeah,
Little
you
Prince.
do cheeky a lot.
But
And
you
when
also have
while you
massive
say,
head girl energy.
yeah.
You do. Like you could lead a
Oh, yes.
gathering.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
there's cult leadership
Yes.
abilities there.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
not big thicko because you wouldn't
No.
wing it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go out and go like,
Yeah.
you know.
No, it's
Yeah,
planned.
thank you.
What's head girl and Little Prince?
Head Prince.
I'm
Also,
gonna
it
take
depends
Head
on how
Prince.
much into war you get, and then you might end up being a bit
But
war
that was
boyish.
another thing we have because I saw your show and you talked about dictators, and I have a whole bit about dictators in my show.
Stop.
Mad thing to high five about. Mad.
What's
thing.
your bit about dictators?
That I think we should have a dictatorship. That I make a really good point of it, so people will agree with me, I hope.
It's excellent.
Okay,
it's a
mine
really
isn't.
good show.
Mine is just about
It's
how much
a
I
really
like the podcast.
And
That sounds a lot
I think
better.
that's the difference between the thicko and the head girl. One's like, isn't it amazing that these exist? And the other one's like, I will be your leader. And that is the
Honestly.
distinction.
Yeah, yours is
I
proper.
really
and
think I
mine's
could
like,
do it.
I like Paul McGann.
I just really think I could do it, and I think I could do a good job of it.
Who's your favourite dictator on the Real Dictators podcast?
Oh, I haven't. It's currently queued because I wanted to listen to episodes of your podcast
Thank
first.
you.
Because I was doing it. So now I've done it. So now I
Also,
don't
it's a
have to
mad
listen.
Hitler's
question
finished.
to be like, who's
Just so
your
you know,
favourite?
Hitler's finished. And it's very
Is it good?
good. Very good.
Hitler's
I went
been
to the
cancelled,
Hitler's Childhood
guys.
Museum in Berlin.
What?
Was not surprised that he had a very bad childhood.
I know, they all had terrible times
No one
of
talks
it.
about it with him,
They-
and I get it because bad, like
Yeah, but
was
he's
bad. I just
also
wanna-
like...
bad.
So Hitler did, they all had bad childhoods,
Yeah.
but what pisses me off about Hitler...
He also had PTSD from the war,
Yeah, but he wasn't a very good soldier in World War One.
but that would give you PTSD. Wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
he was terrible.
I
and
feel
no
very
one liked
unsafe.
Him. No one liked him, wasn't very popular. What pisses me off about Hitler, apart from the genocide...
Yeah, which is like one of the main things.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is...
Another thing we completely agree on.
you know
there.
people who poverty porn...
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I'm from a working class background."
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, don't do that.
You
if
don't
you're
know.
not. Like, it's
You're
so
not
mad.
like us. Yeah.
Hitler, I think, invented poverty porning. Because, obviously he wrote a book called My
University should be
Struggle.
free.
So it's like,
Classic.
shut up.
the
University
original.
should be free. And I'm going to tell you why. These are
So-
conversations people should have in classrooms privately
We're still talking.
so that they're not on podcasts publicly.
Hitler wrote a
So
book
I
called My
actually think
Struggle.
that university shouldn't be free. You should also get paid to go to uni as you do in Denmark. But
And it's also parts of
You would have
Germany
got paid and you didn't go?
that's the no. Well, that I well.
I actually know
I
this. He
signed
went
up.
a couple of times and then dropped out.
Yeah.
Say no more.
After 6 months.
Can I please make my point, though?
Yeah.
So then Hitler's
I
like,
wish
oh
you
my God,
wouldn't.
I've got no money. Oh my God, my life was so tough. Blah, blah, blah. He's writing
Yeah.
this book in jail. And it's like, yeah, you're in jail. That sucks.
Are
But,
you going to
also,
tell me
like,
Hitler was a nepo baby now?
so close. He's like, oh my God, I had no money. I was living in Vienna. There is proof that his mum
Vienna's
sent him his rent each month.
Oh,
And also paid for him to go to the opera once a month.
like him
She was
less and less.
sending him money.
You like him less and less?
It makes you think. It makes you think.
Do you know what? When you didn't think, when you thought he couldn't get worse.
Right? That's exactly
Also,
what.
His mom's paying his
spoiled
rent.
brat.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
say it. Don't write a book called My Struggle about how you couldn't
Yeah.
afford to live in Vienna. If your mum's paying your
Yeah.
fucking rent, you piece of
Yeah.
shit.
Do you know what? I'm a whole new way of looking at him now.
Whole new
Yeah.
disdain for
Yeah,
Hitler. Go on, Andrew. You got a problem from a listener?
Indeed, we do. We have a problem from S.
Hi, S.
Hi, yes.
My therapist?
Your therapist?
This is your
Okay.
therapist, S. Yeah. Hi there, long-time listener, first-time problem emailer.
Welcome.
Hello.
I've been with my girlfriend for 4 years, and she is incredibly important to me. I've always found it hard to be around people, but with her, it's easy, and we understand each other, even when we don't talk.
Aww.
However, there is one part of the relationship where we are not really compatible, and I would like some advice about how to talk about it.
Bedroom.
Yes, correct. Physical intimacy is not her thing, and while that was fine for a while,
Do we know the gender of S?
also female, yeah.
Okay.
I could have told you that.
Lesbian bed death is a myth that just happens to always be
No,
true.
it was very well. It was very well articulated. I think that was the giveaway.
I do like sex, however, despite physical intimacy not being her thing. Obviously, I can take care of myself, but I would like to spend the rest of my life with my girlfriend, and I would, in fact, perhaps require physical intimacy. I used to be categorically against open or poly relationships for myself, but have since come around to the idea, brackets in part thanks to this podcast.
Oh,
Eh?
nice on you.
I want to bring it up, but I'm currently supporting her financially while she finishes her uni work, and I'm worried she'll feel pressured to agree to something she will later regret, since she is a people pleaser.
Oh, that's so mindful. Good job.
I'm also the first person she had sex with and the first relationship for her, so I do feel an extra responsibility to make sure she's okay with everything. Please help. I don't want to lose her or make her feel like she's not enough, but I also really want to eat some box.
Wait, what's box? Is that cunt?
Let's say.
Oh, you girls have a word for everything.
I've already had a talk with my therapist, and she said I deserve to have someone who wants me sexually, which is nice, but makes me a bit uncomfortable. I feel it makes me sound a bit like an incel. Anyway, I've been listening since the very first gig list. I'd like to say how proud of you all I am, of how far you've come. You make my life so much funnier and more interesting, and I'm taking better care of myself as a result of your willingness to talk about problems head on. Thank you.
Whoa!
Yes, that's very sweet. Thank you.
That's so nice.
Well-written message.
Wow.
That's
as well.
so nice. Let's talk about the first problem, which is the phraseology of eat some box. Because if we can teach
I
you...
like it.
It's eat a box. It's eat a box.
Yeah.
Oh.
Eat some box. Oh my God, what a phrase. I love that. That was so mindful, so thoughtful, so progressive, and eat some box. Wow, I love
where
it.
did the box word come from? What's the, like...
The shape.
Yeah, the
Why did I
shape.
say shape? The shape.
You can put your hand in, little treats, search around. It's a box.
I like that.
It's a cave.
Well, what
Wait,
is a
what's wrong
cave?
with
But,
me?
but nature's
What's
box.
wrong Oh, right, okay. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
What is a cave but nature's box? Brilliant. That's brilliant.
I'll put that on a black.
I'd write that one
Put
down.
it on a
Andrew.
Maggie.
Brilliant, yeah.
It feels like match.
That's fucking Plato's cave's all different now. So problem 1 is partner doesn't enjoy intimacy in the way that you do.
Yeah.
Problem 2, you don't want them to feel coerced into making a decision that you want to make because of the situation you're in right now with like support them financially and they're stressed about uni and
Very
stuff.
mindful and good and important.
And the last one is, what is it? That you need someone who wants you physically.
Well, the third one is that doesn't feel like a simple enough description, and
How about
this
just
person
covering
doesn't want to lose
yourself with their
her.
favourite snacks? They sort of lick it off you.
I think okay.
So then it's not physical intimacy. Maybe they're just hungry.
So they won't know you're naked until they get to that point.
Yeah.
Like the
Dinner's
popcorn
ready.
with the...
Like if I came over yours and I was covered in Nutella.
I'd call the police.
Oh
Very quickly.
no, not on little Helen! I can't run. Please.
I'd look at the ring doorbell and be like, I don't think I'm opening this door.
That's so funny. I would be like, wow, I knew this day would come.
Yeah. Here I am.
Here she is to woo me.
Well, what would you do?
I don't
Dump
know.
the partner and start fresh?
No, so I think what's really clear
Hello?
is well, we should go to Sophie first, but I think what is very clear is that this person has gone and gotten the truism, the sort of like cliched 101 of like, well, you deserve someone who wants you, and like that doesn't feel like this person wants to stay with their partner and loves her. So that's like they don't prioritize sex over necessarily exclusively over keeping this person. So let's keep that in mind when we. Do you have any thoughts?
A million.
Well,
I think. So I'm currently working on a book about sex and not having sex. So I'm reading through 1,800 people's submissions of like their sex issues.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And reading a bunch of books about it. So my head is like full of a million thoughts because I've read so many issues that people have around this. So it's
my
like
God, great.
my head is exploding a little bit. This doesn't mean I necessarily have an answer. But I will say, I think there's a difference between if your partner... Is your partner just like, I'm asexual or like just not into sex and that is who I am and that is final and that is just like, I'm okay with that, period?
Yeah.
Or is your partner having issues with it? Is it like something is blocking me from having sex? I don't feel confident. Like I want to work on this. I am working on this. I feel like there's a big difference in how you approach it. Because if it's like, this is my personality and that is who I am and that's, then you can deal with that. But if it's like a work in progress, I think that's where you go, okay, well then like you're working on it. I'll support you. What do you
Third
need?
category I'd posit is that the couple is having difficulty.
Did you just say
with
I posit?
sex. I'd posit a third category is that they
I
are.
would posit.
What
As
does that
in
mean?
deposit?
No, I'm positing an idea that
P-O-S-I-T.
yeah.
What's that?
If you,
put
it's like
forward.
to put forward an idea.
Is that a fancy lawyer word?
Yes, in my at night I'm a lawyer. No,
It's like a lawyer
no,
word.
no. I just like I'd suggest
I
like
posit he is innocent.
yeah, it's sort of like a
Legally
gentle
Blonde
suggestion as well. It's
moment.
like I'd put forward, but I'm not like, you know, like I'd posit that maybe this happens or like
I
like
posit
that.
that we
but
know you went
without
to uni.
proof necessarily. It's just like
Oh, look at me. I went to uni. I posit I went to uni.
Can I have one of
Oh
these
my
treats that
gosh.
Sophie brought and I got hungry all of a sudden?
if it means that you'll stop slagging me off, then yeah. I can tell you're hungry. You're being mean. What about? But yeah, just that it might be a. Helen, let's not forget that we're dealing with S's problem.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah.
And you are now ultimately eating from a box, which feels really insensitive.
Living your dream, S. Living
Oh
your
my
dream.
God.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Can
so
I have
good.
some, please?
No, you're solving the problem.
No, I can have a little bit. Thank you so much.
Can you describe to us what this is, Sophie? And then S, we
So
will
it's
solve
a-
your
it's
problem.
huge!
It's so huge. It's a Danish, I think in English you would call it a cinnamon social from Ole and Steen, which is a Danish bakery.
How do you say it?
Ole and Steen.
Oh, so cool when you say it.
Ole and Steen. Which is a Danish bakery.
Fuck, that is so
where
good.
I go whenever I'm in central London to
Fuck.
buy rye bread, and then I got you that. Which is like, it's like a what do you call it? I guess you call it a Danish, which is weird. Because in
an
Danish
angel.
we call it wienerbrød, which means Vienna bread. So weird. But
Why
it's
would
like
no
a
one-
thing you bring to old people when you visit them in Denmark.
Thank you.
For
We're
their
old.
afternoon coffee.
It's
It's
sweet
so
bread
good.
covered
It's
in
like-
cinnamon. It's sugary. It's
It's like
buttery.
a custardy thing. There's some icing. It's
Fuck. Do you want some?
no, I'm good. I'm recording a podcast currently.
Oh, yeah.
I don't- but maybe after I'm done.
I think what's happened here is this problem has stumped so many of us that we're just trying to pass the buck onto each other.
No,
Sorry, that's so funny. Sophie just said I'm recording a podcast currently. After.
I'd expect nothing. No.
Let's take a break.
Nothing.
Let's finish our work. Let's finish recording this podcast we invited Sophie to.
That is so Moorish, so.
It's so good, isn't it? It's so good. Everything from there is so good.
I feel like, you know, when you go down on a roller coaster and your womb goes like...
Again, really insensitive to S. Stop talking about going down on boxers. Let's go.
You're
What
right.
was the problem?
You posited a third thing, which is that they have a thing within their relationship.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that the partner doesn't want or doesn't like sex, but it's within this relationship.
Yeah.
Also a good point. So I think there's a difference. It's like, I always think when there's issue in relationships, it's always like, well, is there an end to this? So if it's like, my partner is depressed, like that in itself isn't... The problem is my partner is depressed and will not work on it, or my partner is depressed
Yes.
and they're actively seeking help. Like there's such a difference in
Yes.
any kind of issue of like, is something happening? Is there an end in sight? Or do you have to deal with the fact that this is like now your life forever?
Yes.
Okay, this is actually really good.
Yeah, so I think
Listen to this now.
I think it's fair, and I think it's an unpopular opinion a bit. And I think that is mostly, I think men are always told, like, you deserve sex. And I think that's why when someone says it to us, we're a bit like, oh, no, I don't want to be that. Like S said, I don't want to be an incel.
Yeah.
But physical touch and intimacy and sex is really important to some people, not to everyone. But if it is, it's just as much of a need as feeling safe in a relationship or feeling loved, or like, we can all have these like things we need in a relationship, and that's fair. Like there's no moral
It's a
judgment
love
on what
language,
that is.
yeah.
It's a love language. It's like, so if that is something you need and you're not getting it, like it's fine to be like, that's my need. It's not your partner's fault, and you shouldn't be like, well, do you want me to pay your rent or not? Like, 'cause that's scary. But I think it's fair to be like, is this forever or is it not?
I think that's a really good question and a really good starting point for the conversation. I also would say that it sounds to me as like you have not exhausted every option, which is really nice, a really positive place to be, because if you've talked about it at length, you've done therapy, you've done couples therapy, she's done therapy, you guys have made a plan, enacted it, and it all hasn't worked, then that's like sort of dire straits. If you've not done the things and what you're finding difficult is even approaching the conversation, then you're at the very start. There's so many options available, for you, avenues for you to try, which is exciting.
Watch the film Hope Springs. Is that with Steve Carell and Tommy Lee Jones and Meryl Streep? And Meryl Streep and Tommy Lee Jones, they're just not fucking anymore. They're sleeping in separate rooms. And they go to Steve Carell, who's a therapist in Maine. And he teaches them how to, like, be intimate together again. And they spend a night at a hotel, and laughter ensues. It's so silly. And then... And then they go back the next night.
Of
and
the
they...
Steve Carell films you could have recommended
Tommy
for
Lee
this
Jones
problem,
Meryl Streep
it could have been
films you
worse.
could have recommended.
Meryl Streep.
I thought you were going to do
Sophie's Choice.
Or 40-Year-Old Virgin for Steve Carell.
Huh? It's
Listen,
very good.
I also-
Is it called Hope Springs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think-
you mentioned it before.
S
Yeah,
also,
so wonderful film.
so I
Of
think S mentioned polyamory as well, and I think again that very much because that's another thing. If your partner is like, oh yeah, I'm just not into this. Like this is just not a thing for me, and like I feel like it's so. I feel like polyamory is like you really need to learn what you're doing before you do it. 'Cause I think a lot of people do it as like a solution to a
I was
problem.
just about to say, I think the worst way you can go into polyamory is as a solution to a problem in your relationship. It has to be an additional good to your relationship.
Yeah.
So whether it's like solving like time constraints, or it's solving sexual issues, or it's
Yeah.
solving like cheating. I just think those are bad reasons to do it. And
Yeah.
it should be like, also, if it's inequitable, that's also difficult. If it's like you're going to get sex and she's not getting.
Equitable.
As in, if you're doing it for one person but not for the other.
Oh,
Equality.
okay, equality. Yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah,
stemmed
not
from.
equal.
I was an equal.
Just say equal then.
Isn't equine something with horses?
Yes.
Equine.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Equus.
don't
When
have it be
Daniel
about.
Radcliffe fucked the
Let-
horse.
Your
yeah.
Don't know what
polyamory
you're
should have
talking about,
nothing
but yes.
to do with horses, may I say.
Fuck a horse, and then I think
Non-equine,
you'll be
and
fine.
also if it's inequitable, then I think
Fucking a
that's
horse
tricky.
is a good point. That's a good thing.
Well, I also think if you're in polyamory just to get laid, then it's the sex thing, right? But what you want, it sounds like, is intimacy in your relationship.
Yeah,
And like you'll still not have that even if you go out and you fuck someone else.
yeah.
It's like, is it that, like, do you want sex or do you want sex with your partner? That's a very different thing. And also, this feel free to like ask, like, is it like, because sometimes you can, like, I've been in relationships where I've not wanted to have sex with the other person because I didn't really like them, or because they weren't trying to like make me want it. Like they were just like, you know, because they
Yeah.
were men. And if they had been like, is there anything I can do? When do you find me attractive? When do you want sex? I could have been like, oh, here's a list of things I like. I think sometimes you need to talk about that as well.
And also, I really think there are roles you can fall into that make sex really difficult, and those roles can come from a deep place of love. So I've been in relationships where the sex is broken down, but the love was really strong and the relationship was hyper functional. But the problem is, prior to this relationship, like, really wasn't analyzing what I was doing and why I was doing it. And like the reality is, I love to caretake, but I also love to mother, and
Yeah.
that can be like smothering, and it's deeply unsexy. And you can't mother and fuck, obviously. And like,
Well, you can, but bloody hell.
but what I mean to say is that, like, I think how we framed the problem in that situation was that, like, the partner didn't want sex, and that was an issue they needed to look at, when actually I wish that I would have realised what I was doing to contribute to that. And if you are caretaking, or even just, like, financially supporting, you might have fallen into behaviours or, like, a relational dynamic that makes sex difficult. So just to be aware going into the conversation that you might have responsibility and like have to change things which are difficult, and that it's not just like you like putting on, like, you know, showering and asking when you've washed, or asking, like, because like there's stuff that like just is sexy, right? Like that, like
Yeah, like
Asking
buying a
someone
bunny
when they've
costume.
washed.
as in like
When have you washed?
no, what I mean is, like, I'm way more likely to have sex with you if I've just showered,
Oh.
because I love feeling clean, and I feel like I'm much more likely to have sex with you if I like.
But don't you just need to do it again then?
Sure, but I won't give a shit if I've, you know, like, that's fine.
Catherine loved to clean.
Oh, so you're like, now I can get to shower
Yeah,
again.
yeah. I just mean like whatever they think is, but I mean like there's also a case of like, if you are doing a lot of caretaking, it's hard to then be seen as sexy, or to even see yourself
Yeah.
as sexy. And I don't know. I just think my point is like, go in open to the fact that you might have to change things too, and that they're like honest and difficult conversations to have.
And also, do we have ages? Ages have do you know any?
Oh,
bit
first
about-
relationship, uni. Can we assume 20s?
Did they say uni?
They don't have the context in the email.
There's also a thing with their partner's first relationship, first time. And I don't know about you, but I remember when I lost my virginity, I was like, gotta go explore, gotta go try all the things because this is exciting. So
Oh,
there might
interesting.
also be an element of like, hey, you just tried this thing. What do you want to do? Do you want to like work? Because
Yeah.
like, there's
Whereas I
a
was
bunch of
like
things you can
fixated
do.
by that person. I was much more like,
When you lost your virginity.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mine was like a handshake deal. Fucking 16, let's fucking do it. There we go, your first time, my first time. We've learned something, move on.
no, we did that too.
Nice,
I
that's
asked
really
a friend. I
healthy.
was like, do you
Yeah, it was a guy that I
want to try
vaguely
and
knew.
do this? And he was like, okay. And I was like, I think friends can have sex. He was like, okay.
Because of the power of taking control.
Yeah.
Just like
you guys
our
really do have
favourite
so much in
dictators.
common.
We have so much in common.
So much in common.
I was 16
Wow.
too.
I think we've given you a lot of good advice there, S. I'd say that I gave the best. I think it'd be useful.
What was your advice?
I really want to see that film.
Just
though.
whatever Catherine and Sophie said.
No, you said Hope Springs.
But I
But
just
Meryl
think-
Streep and Steve Carell.
I think
It's a good time.
let's
Yeah.
just end this by all saying our favourite boxes to nibble on. Catherine?
Ooh, I like a box of Butler's chocolate.
A box of Butler's chocolates.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catherine. Favourite box to nibble on?
Pandora's.
Who is she?
Who is she?
What does Scorpio reply?
Pandora's.
I'm quadruple Scorpio. That's mine.
Nice.
My favourite box to nibble on would have to be... I will go for, in Disney World, there's a car that sells cheeseburger spring rolls and it comes in a little box.
Cheeseburger spring rolls?
Yeah, deep fried cheeseburger stuff. It tastes like a double
can't imagine
cheeseburger
that.
from McDonald's. It's life-changing.
So in the spring roll paper, they've put burger and cheese?
Yeah.
And burger sauce?
It's
And
like all
bread?
in there. No, you can dip it in burger sauce.
Is there lettuce in
It's
there?
the flavour is cheeseburger.
But
Is
it's
there-
meat and bun.
How have we got so many questions about this? We don't even know what's inside Pandora's box.
It could, what if
Well,
that was
that's
it?
the treat. That
And you're bloody welcome. You're in for a
Pandora's
real
box
good
with some
time.
weird
Pop some bacon in it. Let's go, man.
Asian American fusion food.
is there bacon in the spring roll?
No.
Is there lettuce?
I think they're selling them at M&S now.
That
No,
doesn't
they're
answer the
not.
question.
Behave yourself.
I think they are. I think they're doing like an appetizer, which is
That's more of an LG thing
cheeseburger
to
spring
sell.
rolls.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But it's very good. I want to munch on the box I want to munch on.
No, we're not judging that. We're judging whoever made it. Whoever created
Mickey
it.
Mouse, idiot.
Oh, sorry, head chef
Yeah,
Mickey
fair
Mouse.
enough, fair
Head chef.
So we're talking about thick people earlier. Look at the state of that. Fucking joking. State
Not
of
gonna win
it.
a Michelin star without me.
Good luck getting a Michelin star without me.
Go on, Andrew.
Oh, I was going to say I found them on M&S. 10 crispy beef burger spring rolls for £5.50.
What's in them?
That's
How do they
disgusting.
look?
Beef burger.
Crispy spring rolls filled with British beef, gherkins, caramelised onions with burger sauce for dunking.
Okay.
Barf.
They
Okay.
look like very overstuffed. Like, you know when they like filled up the walrus too much because they didn't know what a walrus looked like?
Oh,
Yeah.
with the Horniman.
Yeah, it's like that, but with spring rolls.
Why am I imagining teeny tiny spring? Is it big spring rolls? Or is it
Beefy
teeny
boys,
tiny
they're
ones?
beefy
In
boys.
Disney World,
I
it's
think
big.
like a fist worth, yeah.
Oh, this
Let us
one.
know if you try them.
But
Let
in
us
Disney,
know.
they had cheeseburgers,
Yeah.
so I'd melt some cheese on top of it like you're doing an enchilada and then dip it in the burger sauce. Oh,
Yeah,
please,
I'm coming
Sophie, you
around.
must.
I'm coming around.
You could have that whilst listening to the Hitler episodes of Real
Oh my God, I'm
Dictators.
gonna have the best night.
What a night in! What a
Gonna have
night
such a
in!
good
While you read other people's sexual problems.
I'm gonna be so excited.
In my head, that's how it goes. Let's get into it.
Dream night.
You'd fucking love that.
so fun.
Oh my God.
Um,
I've actually turned myself on.
I
Like, just the
feel,
idea
oh my
of
God,
it. Like,
come on. Sophie Hagen, what an amazing guest. You brought
Thank
questions,
you.
you brought commonalities, you brought tension, I'll be honest. I thought
And
we'd have
brought
more in
food.
common.
That's
You
true,
brought
yeah.
food, you fucking angel. You
Yeah.
brought great advice. And my
gift as
goodness
well.
me, you
Brought
brought
a
a
gift as well.
girthy
I
pig.
brought a good
Bacon
boy.
Hagen.
Bacon Hagen. Oh, bacon. Here's a question. Where can people find you?
Social media.
course
Sophie
they
Hagen.
can.
So FIEHAGEN.
Yes.
Not spelled the way you would want to. And
Is that your
I
surname?
wrote a.
No, your name.
It's my
Both.
full name.
Full name. Say it again. It was so fast.
SOFIEHAGEN.
Such a funny way of saying it.
I know.
Brilliant.
I
No,
know.
I liked it.
Social media, and I wrote a book called Happy Fat ages ago. And
It's great.
I
It's
have
got
a
an
newsletter.
amazing cover.
Have a newsletter, and things will be coming up. So.
Where can people see you perform?
When does it come out?
This Thursday.
Thursday.
Ah,
Literally
okay. November 19th.
24 hours.
November 19th at Earth Hackney. I'm doing my show that I did in Edinburgh.
There's like
It's
no
so
shows
good.
left,
It's
though.
so good.
There are some tickets left.
Like 20?
Some tickets left. I don't know how many.
Just book it
It
right
was
now.
my
like
favourite
right
show in
this
Edinburgh.
very
I
second.
absolutely loved it. Everyone I sent to see it thereafter adored it. Everyone I know loved it. It's
That
such
is so
a good show.
sweet.
Go and see it. And also, it's full of surprises. And also, I love that you don't have a pattern of joke, which is unusual for most comics do.
you.
Like they really do. The punchlines come from places you don't expect. It's so good. Enjoy.
you.
So true.
It's really amazing.
Congratulations on your talent.
Stop it. Thank you.
No, it's such a good show. Go see it.
Go see
Okay,
it.
so that's the 19th. And then are you going on tour?
Eventually next year at some
Okay,
point.
okay.
Yes,
And
but
do you
that's
have-
the only show I have like coming up.
Podcast people can listen to you.
I
Loads
have
of
no
stuff.
current podcast.
But
I'm
they can go and
podcast-
listen to.
Oh, I have Made of Human, which is now called Who Hurt You. Which
I
is
went
the
on
still
that
old you did. You both
before
did.
We
I'd
both
even
did.
heard of that. Like, so resistant to the idea of therapy. It was pre-breakdown.
It was such a while. I remember
I
that.
did it
I remember being very
pre-breakdown.
like, holy shit, this is a lot.
Do you know that, like, I was like, oh, I'm going to listen to this. Because I was like, I think this is just before. Do you remember that summer in Edinburgh?
Yep.
When Helen lost her mind.
Yep.
But I remember like going like, oh, I'll listen to this, and I clicked on it, and it starts with Sophie. I don't know if it still does. Going like, God, I thought she would have got in contact and said she didn't want to put it out, but she hasn't. So
Oh yeah, I remember that.
here
I
we
was,
go, and it's like it's not for everyone.
I was waiting till last minute to do the intro because I was like, I was so certain you. Yeah, it was so good. You were so.
I was so
honest.
like unaware of how mad I was.
It was
I think
amazing.
everyone will now be going to listen to that.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It
No,
was
no,
really good.
that's not a recommendation to listen
I
to
think
that.
we'll all be
Listen
listening to
to
that on the way
other
home.
episodes.
No, if you want to hear an origin story, go there. Fantastic.
And then I did Bad People, which is a true crime podcast.
which is
Yeah.
excellent.
from BBC Sounds.
Excellent.
That's
I'm
it.
so sad it's over.
Yeah.
It's that okay. After this, you're going to tell me which comedian you share a therapist with. You're going to
Yes.
tell me your therapist details,
Yes.
and we're all going to go eat this box. Have a great day.
Oh, well, a huggy day to you, our executive producers. Thank you so much for all your support, you guys. Guy Goodman, you guys got us good stuff. Simon Moores, Mary Fox, Annie Tonner, Sarah Jarque-Deakin. I'm sorry, I do a really big swallow there because I was thinking about the pudding that we just...
You have a claggy mouth.
Sarah
Molly Kay.
Jarque-Deakin, Oliver Jago, Anthony Conway, and Matthew Thomas.
We all have too much Danish in our mouth for this. Oh, what a saucy thing to say after Sophie Hagen's left.
I was
They
on
won't
Sophie
mind.
Hagen's box.
Thank you. Let's take a little step now out of our executive lounge and into the producers' quarters and say thank you to Richard Bicknell, Elle, Richard Bold, Neil Redmond, Victoria Hutchison, Harald van Dijk, Tim and Dom, David Walker, Rachel R, Sadie Cashmore, Claire Owen-Jones, Jess Nick, Zoe, Sarah and Molly, Raia Fink, Cordelia, Rachel Page, Helen A, Tina Linsey, Graham Marsh, Amy O'Riordan, Abby Wharf, Key Webb, Matt Sims, Luke Bright, Leah, Kate Spencer, Tristan, Liz Fort, Taz, Chloe, Becky Fox, Emily Gee, Emily G, Dean Michael, Glennis Wood, Stephanie Cataraccia, Sophie Cheevers, Mark Anthony. Those are two separate names, not a Mark Anthony.
Oh my God, could you imagine if J-Lo's ex was
That would be
listening?
phenomenal. And Carrie Sooth, is that right? Wow, have we got some new producers in there?
Or Carrie Soothie.
It's soothe like soothe.
Sooth.
Carrie Sooth.
And is it Carrie or Carrie?
I didn't check that part. I
Well,
only got
Carrie
the-
Sooth or Carrie Sooth, we applaud you for joining the team. There's quite a few new producers in there. Oh, I love to see it and I love to hear it. Thank you all so much.
Thrive.
Woohoo!
You're thriving.
You're thriving. You've made some
Thank
great
you.
life choices. Oh, thank you for supporting us. Thank you to everyone who listens too. If you're just telling your friends, that is so helpful. Thank you.
Spread the good word of the hog.